Welcome to In the Kitchen with Dinah. Today we're making cinnamon rolls.
Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Gonna taste good, I know.
Cinnamon rolls in my house have been a long time tradition, and especially when I got married, I always had them fresh Christmas morning, and I wanted to share those with you today. We're just gonna make 1 dozen. It's the small batch. You can double it, triple it, quadruple it, make as many cinnamon rolls as you need. But we'll start off with 1 cup of milk. I'm gonna microwave it for about 1 minute and 20 seconds to get it nice and warm. Okay, so while that is in the microwave, we're gonna take 1/4 cup of white sugar, put it in the bottom of your mixing bowl. You will wanna have either a KitchenAid with your dough hook inside, or I have a Bosch mixer because I make a lot of bread. So we're gonna put 1/4 cup of that and then 1 package of yeast or 2 1/4 teaspoons. And this is active dry yeast. Ooh. Ooh, this looks great. So it's a little steamy, nice and warm. I'm gonna give you a temperature reading on here. Whew, it's about 160. It's really hot. I'm gonna wait for it to cool off. I'll be right back. Okay, so our milk has cooled off. It's about 120-ish degrees. So we've got our sugar, our yeast, and we're gonna add the warm milk to this. And you're gonna turn your mixer on to get it mixed up just a little. Then we need to wait and let it set so the yeast can proof. And that takes a couple minutes. Hopefully you can see it. This is the fun part where the yeast starts eating the sugar and it starts to grow and activate itself. I usually put my lid on my Bosch to keep it all warm and toasty, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. So it's been a couple minutes. The yeast is nice and foamy. So we're gonna crack an egg. I just used my milk container and I give it a little break it up whisk and pop that in. We've got 2 tablespoons of oil. And then I've got a little over 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna add 1, and then as I turn on the mixer, I'm gonna continue to add the rest. I'm also going to add some salt, very important. But if you add the salt too quick, it'll kill your yeast. So we got that going. We're going to add a teaspoon of salt. And then probably a couple more cups of flour. So if it's super humid out today, or at your house like it is here today, it's pouring rain, you'll probably want a little more flour. If it's drier, you'll probably want less flour. So there's our 3 cups. I'm gonna add probably 1/4 cup more. Do you want it to pull away from the sides of the mixer so that it's clean? I'm going to grab a spatula and then get all that flour so it gets incorporated well. Now we want to let this knead for 10 minutes. I'm going to stop it and see how sticky it is. So I'm going to stop the mixer and I'm just going to see how sticky it is. I've got a piece of dough over here that doesn't want to get incorporated. Okay, now I'm going to turn it back on. That looks good. We've only got a couple minutes left on this, so we're going to get our filling ready. So we need some brown sugar and cinnamon. I'm going to do about 3/4 cup brown sugar, a couple teaspoons of cinnamon in there. I'm going to set that aside, and then I've got about a quarter to a third of a stick of butter in here I've got softened. If you've got hard little lumps in this of your brown sugar, take them out. All right, so our timer just went, and we are gonna check this dough out. I'm gonna take my bowl off, I'm gonna get rid of the mixer, make sure your work surface is all clean. Then what I do is I just take about a tablespoon of oil and pour it on your clean counter. And then I take my hand and I rub it just like you would, or use an oil instead of flour. That way your dough doesn't dry out so bad. Get it out of your, it's still a little sticky, but I think it'll be just fine. If you've got a KitchenAid, it might be a little sticky in there, but the dough should pull off of it really easily. I'm just going to give it a quick knead. Get it coated with a little oil. All right, this looks good. So you can see how soft this dough is. It's not too sticky. And now that I've got it sitting here, you can see if you push, it comes back just a little. Like my mom always said, it has to be soft as a baby's bum, which it is. So that's how it should feel. Boy. I grab just a tiny bit more. All right, so grab a rolling pin. And it's going to scoot around, but that's okay. Start in the middle and then roll out to the sides. And then go up. We're looking for a rectangle. Sometimes I have to take my hands and push it out a little. We do want it longer than you do want wider, so. You can see the elasticity in this dough too. This is probably a 12 by 18. I'm guessing. Does that look about right?
Is it like a cubit by a foot?
I don't know. I'm going to say it almost looks like a legal size piece of paper. 11 by 14, 12 by 18, kind of the same. All right, so we've got this down. We've got some softened butter. I just take my hand, and the warmth of the hand is going to melt it. You're just going to spread it on here. This is a time where I don't ever wear jewelry or my watches or anything, just because there's so much dough. I would hate to lose a diamond in a dough. Then we're going to take the brown sugar and cinnamon, pour it on. You may or may not use the whole amount that we made, so put it on your toast or whatever. Just kind of spread it out. I want to go all the way to the edges on the sides. And then on this side, you want to leave clean so we can seal the dough. That's going to be where we roll it up. And then on the other side, I go all the way. Because the middle bite, if you agree with me, comment below, isn't the last bite in the middle the best? Okay, I'm going to wash my hands. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm just going to take my fingers and I use them. And I go down the belly button side, the side that's going to be inside. And I keep finessing it and keep rolling it. And I just go from one side to the other side and back again. You don't want a tight roll on these. This dough is really lovely. Just keep moving it down. Okay, and when I get down here, I kind of pull it up to the top. And I give it a good pinch and seal that seam. And I roll it towards myself. And then I kind of, you can use your hands to feel. You want the same thickness of dough all the way through. So if your ends get like really stretched out, you want to scoot them in so it's all about the same. That looks really good. So I take a sharp knife. You can use dental floss or some thread to cut. And if you do that, you just scoot it under and twist it. I like my sharp knife the best. So we're going to cut it in half since we're just making a dozen. Cut it into quarters and cut the quarters into thirds. That way all of the rolls are pretty much the same size. All right, and I have a greased 9 by 13. We're just going to take these, set them up, and we're going to let these double in size, and they're going to rise. Depending on how warm it is in your house, it could take a couple hours. I usually turn my oven light on and just set them in the oven, and the warmth from the oven light makes them rise really nice. It's kind of like my own easy bake oven. You just have to take them out before you preheat it so that you don't cook them. They look like little cinnamon roses. And if they kind of come unwrapped like that one did, I just kind of take it and squeeze it around. Right, so if you happen to be doing laundry, I put a tea towel on cover these with a tea towel. Just like this, a clean tea towel. And I set them on the dryer because it's nice and warm in there and it's a little humid in your laundry room. You can set them on your stove if you have like a pilot light that goes all the time. Or we can just stick them in the oven, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm just going to tuck them in the oven and leave the light on. If you have one light or two, it's fine. You just want to make sure they double in size. Okay, and now we're just gonna let them sit in there for a couple hours till they double in size. Okay, so I just peeked at my cinnamon rolls. It's been about 25 minutes, and this is just with the oven light on. And they have definitely doubled in size. So I'm gonna pull them out, set them on the counter, and we're gonna turn the oven on to 350 degrees. Mine is gonna be 375 and convection. So let that get done. As soon as it's hot, we're gonna pop the cinnamon rolls in for about 20 minutes. So the oven just came to temperature, it just beeped. I'm gonna put these in our 350 degree oven for about 20 minutes. So one of the things I do when my cinnamon rolls are in the oven is I get my frosting all prepped. So I've got a half a stick of butter. We're gonna pop it in the microwave here. That's going for 20 seconds. Got some powdered sugar. I'm gonna use probably 2 cups. Ish. You think something good is gonna happen? All right, so that's what 20 seconds in the microwave does. If you wanna add cream cheese, cut your butter in half and use equal parts cream cheese and butter. We're just gonna mix this in together. You need to sit down. All right, so we've got the butter mixed into the powdered sugar. We're gonna give it a sprinkle of salt and get some milk. Probably start off with about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. Remember, you can always add, but you can't take away, and the glug of vanilla. Okay, I'm actually going to add a little more powdered sugar to this. Because I know the amount of cinnamon rolls I have, and that is not going to make it. Okay, and a little more milk. So while we were waiting, I whipped out another batch of cinnamon rolls. So I got 2 dozen cinnamon rolls in the oven. That's why I made a little more frosting. But it is, if you want to slather it with frosting, be my guest. So then I just set this aside. I'm going to get some cooling racks out because we've got about 13 minutes left on the cinnamon rolls. And then when they come out, I always frost them when they're piping hot. So we've got 1 minute left on the timer, but they are golden brown. I'm going to pull them. Because when they look like this, you gotta pull them out. They are gorgeous and golden brown. These cinnamon rolls smell amazing. They look amazing. I like to frost them when they're hot, so I just take my offset spatula. That way the frosting kind of seeps in all the nooks and crannies. So I take about, I don't know, this much, go across each of them. Boy, these look beautiful. Okay, so that's kind of how I frost them. If you have a different way, feel free to use cream cheese if you want cream cheese frosting. Some people love to just bathe these in frosting. I like probably, well, what I call the perfect ratio of frosting to bread dough, but everybody's different. I probably would say less frosting. And if you have any left, I kind of take all the extra and spread it over so everything's kind of coated. These look pretty darn near perfect. So you can totally eat them hot right now. They don't get any more delicious. Just make sure you got either a cup of coffee or a big glass of milk.
It's a 6-minute-old cinnamon roll.
I know, they don't get any better.
Holy moly.
You don't even need teeth when you eat these. These just melt in your mouth. Just trying to get it out. I am gonna grab a fork because they're so hot. So I'm gonna cut into this. They don't really get any better. You can see how amazing and flaky, soft the dough is. It's not tough at all. It's so good. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I hope you try these cinnamon rolls. Maybe if you watch this video, it's not too close to Christmas Eve and you could whip them out. Your family will love you for it, let me tell you. I hope that you give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the bell for further notifications of more episodes to come. There will be more. You guys have a great night and enjoy your day, and happy holidays. My gosh, here we go. Cinnamon rolls. Oh my word, we're doing it.
Can't believe you're giving away your cinnamon rolls. This is monumental because they're like, you could make a franchise out of these.
See, and I don't have anything on because
You're gonna do the thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna do the thing.
oh gosh. It's always the hard part.
I know.
I don't have any snacks for you. Are you sad? You go to your spot. Go lay down.
Really, I hope. Gonna taste good, I know.